Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Ultrascan diagnostics. This is the CBCT of the patient that you had requested. The area of interest is the lower right second molar and the lower right third molar. Now, on the panoramic view, we can see that the lower right second molar is root canal treated. We've got the lower right third molar, which is completely impacted into the bone. It is mesioangular and it is very closely associated with the inferior alveolar nerve. Now, upon the transaxial view, we'll talk about the lower right second molar. First, the transaxial view, we see that the root canal has been performed. The root canal seems to be appropriate. We don't see any major periapical radiolucencies other than in this region right here, lingually. We also don't see any major periapical radiolucencies in the distal canal. The distal canal seems to be appropriate. We don't see any missed canals in this tooth either. Now, if we look at the tooth from a axial point of view, this is the tooth from the axial point of view. This is the crown as we are moving inferiorly or apically. This is the core buildup. Now moving further down, now this is the furcation area. In the furcation area, we can see that there is a little bit of a very over instrumentation in this region. The over instrumentation can be noticed right here. So we can say that this could be strip perforation if the patient has any symptoms in this tooth. We don't see any major problem, but if you look at here, we see a small crack right here. We see a little bit of a radiolucency interradicularly right there. So this could be a leaking canal. This is the mesiolingual canal, could be slightly leaking in both the segments. As we are moving down, the radiolucency consistently stays with the tooth and the root. So this could be an area of interest. Other than that, no major periapical radiolucencies can be appreciated. No lingual perforations can be seen in this particular case. Now, as far as the wisdom tooth is concerned, the wisdom tooth on the apical section, this is the wisdom tooth right there. This is the inferior alveolar canal. I'm going to just gently hide the canal. So this is the inferior alveolar nerve canal. This kidney bean shaped and compression is a classical indicator that the tooth is pushing against the nerve. And this is the nerve canal. It is present very buccally to the tooth. The wisdom tooth is placed lingual. The inferior alveolar canal is placed buccally, but it is in complete contact. We have loss of cortical plate here. So the extraction of this tooth will definitely need to be done carefully because it is definitely very closely associated with the wisdom tooth. Another very interesting aspect that we can see on the CT scan is the fact there is absolutely no cortical cancellous bone. We've got very dense cortical plate, and the tooth itself seems to be very thoroughly ankylosed with the tooth. We don't have any PDL space. We don't have any wiggling space. We can see some hair coronally in the near the crown, but otherwise you can clearly see that there is absolutely no PDL widening or PDL space between the tooth. So this here is the canal right here, and as we are moving more inferiorly, we can see that there's a huge canal space. This big radio lucency or hypodense area can show this is a very vascular canal, and this is a very huge canal as well. So this is something to be very mindful of. If we look at the tooth from a transaxial view, this is the tooth, this is the inferior alveolar canal. You can see that this tooth is very bulbous, it's very radiodense. This is the canal. It again becomes very kidney bean shaped and then gets compressed by the tooth. And as we are moving towards the ramus, we can see that the canal then is completely at all times associated with the inferior alveolar, with the wisdom tooth. And this is how the canal, a very wide canal. Here we can see that it goes up into the ramus as well. So this is definitely something to be very mindful of when treating this patient. And then if there are any further questions regarding this case, please feel free to reach to our team. Thank you very much.